It's got a monster painted on the hood, so.
Here we go, off of corner 4, the first green flag of the evening, and we're underway with the SO Mini Stock qualifier number 1.
So Drew Spencer and Chase Hess, pretty good start there for them as they barrel into turn number 1 for the first time. And Rick Emerson making it 3 wide already back in the pack as they come out of turn number 2.
Down the backstretch they run in here, looking good already. This track in great shape here in the early portion of the going here. They take it around 3 and 4. Oh, 88 way loose there out of 4, and here comes Stewart to the outside.
Cross the line for the first time. Spencer right now in second. Here comes Abel Castleline on the high side, getting it done by the 27 of Dan Stewart.
These guys finding it a little bit slick up here at turn number 1, really saw it on the wheel, especially Spencer there as he gets loose again. He gives up that second spot to Castleline, and now here comes Goodale trying to take over the 3rd spot.
Abel Castleline looking good, running in second. Goodale up to 3rd now. Great battle for 4th between the 88 there and the 27. But the leader coming around the outside, looking good right now. It'll be Chase Hess.
Hess leading him down the backstretch with Abel Castleline, about 5 cars behind him. Then as Paul Goodale in 3rd, look at the man on the move. Mitchell Brown up to the 4th spot. He moves to the inside of Spencer. Spencer way up high off the 4th corner.
He's doing a good job of hanging on to that 88 car, but he is all over the place tonight in that 88. Track conditions a little different than we've seen them the last few weeks, and maybe throwing him a curveball. That rookie driver in the 88 is up front. Abel Castleline starting to catch the leader, Chase Hess.
That turn 4 throws you for such a loop when it happens as you're starting to slide up there. Now the leader dances with it 2 out of 4. That'll bring 2nd and 3rd a little bit closer. He had a good margin though as they come down with just a little bit left.
The 4 Mustangs have broken away with right now Abel Castleline feeling the heat from Goodale. Goodale's right there in the back bumper. Mitchell Brown meanwhile is reeling in those top 3.
Brown in that number 10 car gets such a good drive out of turn number 2. That's where he gains all that speed down the backstretch on those guys. And he's right up on the tail end of Goodale now, looking to the outside for that 3rd position.
Castleline has separated distance between the 14 of Goodale and the leader, Chase Hess. Hess, very smooth through turn 2, guys, as I stand here at the entrance to the pits. Unbelievable line down here off of 2 for the leader.
Side by side into the corner. Mitchell Brown threw it in deep. Paul Goodale now to the outside, but he can't grab the position. Mitchell Brown to 3rd with 2 laps to go.
Mitchell Brown going to come up on Abel Castleline here in just a minute for that 2nd spot as they dive into turn number 1 and 2. 6 laps in, 2 to go. Chase Hess still holding on out front right now in that 7X though.
Mitchell Brown way loose in 2 that time. That'll cost him a bit of ground that he had gained on the 28 of Abel Castleline. White flag out, and this one is not over yet. Here comes Castleline to about a car length and a half into 1. He looks to close it up even more. Hess pushes high. Here he goes on the bottom.
Castleline right there. He's got a good run coming through the 2nd corner, but Hess gets an equally good run up on the high side. They work it down the backstretch with less than a half a lap to go. Hess up high. Abel Castleline will dive it down to the inside off of 4. They're going to come wheel to wheel to the stripe.
And Hess going to hold on to this one just barely over Castleline as Mitchell Brown made it interesting. He takes home that 3rd spot. 4th will go to Goodale. 5th will go to the 86 of Emerson. 6th to the 05 Goodacre. 7th, too close to call for me, that 48 of Erskine and the 27 of Stewart. And then bringing up the tail of the field, the 80, the 777X of Steve Hess. He got the feature win last week. Then the 04 Wyatt Van Wert and the 113 Mark Maidment tonight. Mark Maidment in the 113.
Now when he comes around, look at the new fender on the pinball machine, Greg. It's about 6 inches out from where the door is bashed in.
I'll tell you what, there's a Chevette somewhere in a mall parking lot missing its front end. We'll see if this new aero package works for the pinball. He shoots out to the lead on the 1st lap.
And Mike Evers really made up some ground there too. He's up into that 2nd spot and fighting with Guyverson for the lead as here comes Steve Hess also in the 777X. He started way back and he's already up into 2nd spot as they're loose coming out of turn number 4.
Well, he'll get into the side of Mike Guyverson a little bit. Guyverson will let the high side roll here in the 11 as the leader gets on it already. Hess running away with it, but it's Evers and Guyverson running 3rd and 2nd right now.
Hess, ever since his win at the World of Outlaw show on the Wednesday night, has been a rocket. He won the feature event last Friday night, and he set sail. He came from the back to get up to the front early on in this qualifier.
Yeah, Steve Hess gone in that 777X already. Mike Iverson in the 11, back to 2nd now. Mike Evers in the 265 at 3rd. Mike Taylor one of the relative newcomers here in the 0-2, having another good run in the 0-2. But as I say that, he gets loose out of turn number 2, and Kevin Hilborn's all over him for that 4th spot.
You know, Hess looks good out here. As I watch the car come through turn 1 and 2, it looks exactly like Lee Winger used to drive that car. I'm not sure if that's the one, but I believe Lee Winger has had a hand in building these cars for these guys.
Lee Winger knows how to get it done on the top side. We'll see that a little bit later on in the SO Thunderstock qualifiers. But meanwhile, Steve Hess leading the way by a fair advantage as he looks to make it 2 weeks in a row in victory lane in feature competition. We're 4 in, 4 to go in this qualifier.
And we have 4 cars under a blanket here for that 2nd spot, as Kevin Hilborn's still looking for a way around the 0-2 of Mike Taylor right now. And Guyverson and Evers still holding on out front of them in the 2nd and 3rd spot, as Dan Miller, with his window net falling down in the 79, working on the 77X of Ethan Martin for the 6th spot.
Okay, you look at it this way. Stephen Hess is on his own area code here and taken away, but Guyverson's doing a great job holding down the rest of the pack as Van Wart kills a bunch of bugs in 3 as he blows up the Volkswagen. They'll wave that Golf to the inside.
And he does the sportsman-like thing, pulls it to the infield oval and gets it off the track with 2 laps to go for Steve Hess. Like Clinton said, there is a big battle going on right behind the pinball. I don't even know if he knows it's going on right now.
Well, they're coming down to 2 laps to go now. Guyverson trying to hold on to that 2nd spot, but Hilborn, the 2nd place point man, is all over him. And here comes Mike Evers also making a charge on the bottom, but he slips, and Hilborn is going around Guyverson for that 2nd spot.
Well, the other thing you may notice to the leader, looks like brand new tires out there, Tommy. What do you see on the inside? At least as he comes around me, it looks like new rubber on the outside of that Hess 777. Could be wrong. Maybe they just cleaned them up good, but feeling good. Put some new sneakers on.
Well, these guys, they're known for keeping their cars nice and clean. I also saw the same thing on the 14 at Goodale in that last heat race. So here comes Hess around for the heat race win by half a track. Hilborn going to come around for 2nd here eventually.
Yeah, Hess just has it shut off, coasts in for a long time as the 2nd and 3rd place cars just make their way across the line. Hess will wheel by me into the pit area, and not too bad for pinball out there in that number 11.
In the 108, the guy who's chasing him in the points is Billy Bleach. Then we have the 44, Jamie Cox. He's got 3 wins in a row here in the Thunderstock division. Tis outside the 00, Robbie General. And bringing up the back in the 11 is Michelle Johnson.
Well, they get to go here out of turn 4 on it. Disher and Bailey. Disher will get the early jump into turn 1. Bailey leaning on his left rear a little bit. They try and fan out and go 3 wide. Thorne thinks better of it, will pull back. Disher will be the first one, lead him down the back straightaway.
Look at Billy Bleach coming from the back. He's up to the 3rd spot, gaining positions as he gets by Bailey. Now he ducks down low to the inside of Mike Thorne off of 4.
Billy Bleach knows he's got to make up some points here, and Shane Pierce mired in the back right now. So this is a good opportunity for Bleach to cut into that point lead a bit as he goes to work on the 55 of Thorne. Thorne not going to give up that easily, though. He's going to the underside of Disher for the lead in turn number 3.
We've heard you mention it before, Tommy. Points count in the heat, so it does matter. But Pierce will waste no time to put himself behind Bleach. So it's still Disher, Thorne, but Bleach, Pierce, and then a good battle for 5th coming up behind.
Bleach takes a look down to the inside. He'll stuff that nose down to the inside of 55 of Mike Thorne, but they'll work down the backstretch with Thorne remaining in the 2nd spot. How about another nice run for Rob Disher? He picked up that win earlier on in the year, and ever since he's been up front every week. The 17 leading the way here in this first qualifier.
Rob Disher got that feature win here this year, his first in 2 or 3 years here at Ohsweken, and he's up there flying right now. This track in really good shape tonight, smooth and fast on the high side. These guys all trying to find a way on the bottom as Jeremy Bean in 37 dives to the low side of Shane Pierce for that 4th spot.
Pole sitter Dave Bailey's in the pit area already, but now Mike Thorne challenging on the inside of the Disher. 17 got up underneath, put on the brakes. Here comes Bleach on the bottom. By the time they get to 3, they'll be 3 wide. Bleach underneath.
The top 2 in the points side by side going into the 3rd quarter, but here comes Jeremy Bean as well, and he'll bring Jamie Cox right there. The top 5, he can throw a blanket over them as they cross the stripe.
And more hard luck for Mike Thorne in that 55. Something went wrong on the backstretch there, just as he was going 3 wide for the lead, and now he's pulled down in the infield. Meanwhile, up front, Shane Pierce around the 17 of Disher and into the lead.
Boy, that will make car owner Mikey Granton smile. Granton is constantly harping at Pierce to run the high line here, and it works here for Pierce, but he's been getting beat on the bottom in the last lap, and he says, I can't take it anymore, but it runs good. He came through that pack fast, guys.
Pierce already checking out on the field. He's got 4 or 5 car lengths back to Rob Disher in second. The most recent winner, Jamie Cox, he's going to throw it down to the inside off of 4.
Jamie Cox likes that inside groove, and he's making it work in the 44 with the white flag out, 1 lap to go. Contact down here between the 108 of Bleach and the 17 of Disher, but they keep going as Bean going to make his way to the outside of Bleach for that 3rd spot.
They're going at it pretty good. Disher holding his own very well, and now Jeremy Bean will use the top side to come around, challenge for 3rd and take that away. At the checkers, it's Pierce by the margin ahead of Disher and Bean.
Row 3, the 8 of Ryan Dennington outside the 83, Lee Winger. Then we have the 12 of Brad Heron, the 88K mystery driver. Could be Mikey Granton, could be Kevin Knapp. We've seen a few different drivers in that car here at Ohsweken. Then bringing up the back row, the 1 of Chris Dickey.
We'll try and get a look and see who it is as they come around here out of turns number 4 down the front straightaway. Kyle McGrin has had promising starts, but he needs a promising finish here in the 24K.
Kyle McGrin works it into the lead down the back chute with Mark Thorne down to the inside. Terry Osmond right now 3rd. Here comes Lee Winger after a week off. He's racy right now, getting down to the inside of Osmond.
Lee Winger in that 83, of course, had a little altercation a couple weeks ago and had to take a week off, but he's back here running strong up into 3rd spot is Mark Thorne. He says he's running for the Hard Luck Award this year, and there's another case of it right there. Slips high in turn number 2 and gives up 3 spots.
Lee Winger gave me heck last Friday night for mentioning his suspension on the air. Says, you're not supposed to rub it in. I said, hey, it's the news around the track. He said, all right, then I want to see you in Victory Lane next Friday when I win. So if he wins, guys, I may have to handle that Victory Lane interview.
We'll gladly hand that over, but right now it looks like he might very well, in fact, be ready to do that. He's reeling in Kyle McGrin right now. That 83 with a week off, it's made him itchy to go racing, and he's really getting to the front quick.
Kyle McGrin, that 24K, having a strong run out there as he slides high in turn number 1 and 2 just a bit there. Winger will gain a bit there as Brad Heron making his way up from row 4. He's up into 3rd spot, or fighting with 3rd spot with Terry Osmond right now.
Well, we'll have to see if Winger can reel in Kyle McGrin, who looks good here. Kyle been around the Speedway since he was a young guy. Really sawing on the wheel there and nearly lost the handle in turn 2. Winger still got his sights set ahead, but he's still got a long way to go.
McGrin leading them down to complete lap number 5 with Winger in 2nd. Brad Heron is right now 3rd. He has a feature win here in 2009. In fact, he's the only driver, correct that? Ryan Dinning in the 8 also has a win this year in feature competition.
So McGrin holding on out front right now. Winger in 2nd, Brad Heron in 3rd, Terry Osmond 4th, Mark Thorne holding down 5th. Chris Dickey had a nice run up from the back row. He's up into 6th, but he slides high in turn number 3 and 4. And Denning and Rutherford slide by 3 wide on the low side.
Kyle McGrin, certainly a candidate for the Hard Luck Award. He leads the pack down right now. He'll take the white flag out of turn 4, but Lee Winger's coming hard. Can Winger reel him in one more circuit?
1 lap left to go. The youngster Kyle McGrin has had all sorts of horrible luck here in 2009 and even last year in 2008. Winger's right there on the rear deck lid. They have a half a lap to settle it.
And Winger going to try one more run down into turn number 3 here. He dives to the low side, coming out of turn number 4. It's going to be a drag race to the line. And Winger slips. McGrin will hold him off for that heat race win. Winger will finish 2nd, Brad Heron 3rd, Terry Osmond 4th, Mark Thorne 5th. Ryan Dinning 6th, Rodney Rutherford 7th, Chris Dickey back to 8th as the right front tire went flat on the 1 of Chris Dickey just on that last lap.
Well, Kyle McGrin gets the checkered flag, and we'll see if he can be the next driver to go to Victory Lane in Esso Thunderstock competition.
First career heat race win just a week or 2 ago, and starting to pick it up here. He looked fast early on, and then he kind of slowed down there for a while in the middle of the season, and now he looks like he's starting to pick it up again towards the end of the season as we get down already to the end of the part of August already. Hard to believe.
Kevin Loveys, Keith Dempster, row number 1. Brad Knapp, Jamie Collard, row 2. Chris Duran, Jessica Zemkin, row 3. And Kyle Moffat right back there in that 7th starting spot. 8 laps the distance. BS&B Radiators, heat race number 1. And Jessica Zemkin with problems, pulls to the high side in corner 3.
They will wave this one off here in a second, but they still had to go green to avoid the big pileup. And problems for the Zemkin. On paper, the 27 wouldn't have been anybody's real favorite this year, but he's really turned that perception around to that team. And Collard as a driver. Here we go. Green flag comes out.
6 cars in this first qualifier. They try to make it 4 wide down the front stretch off the green flag. They go down side by side with Kevin Loveys and Jamie Collard into corner 3.
Loveys and Collard still side by side as they come out of turn number 2. Really close there out of turn number 4. And Loveys tries to slide job Collard. Collard not giving it up yet. And now he will as Loveys slides into 2nd spot.
Well, the rookie Loveys not intimidated at all here. Showed the right rear a couple times to the 27 on that one lap. They were glued together. Now the 18 will set sail. And it will be next.
3-car battle again for the 2nd spot. Kevin Loveys has it. Jamie Collard right behind him. And Kyle Moffat coming up from the tail of the field right now working in 4th.
Kyle Moffat looking racy in that 7. We haven't seen him in a couple weeks. And he's running that middle groove pretty well right now. But out front, Keith Dempster is checking out. Not the season we've expected from Dempster as he takes the halfway signal here. Last year's track champion has not had the season that he wanted to have. But he's out front right now.
All these guys working on the high groove, pushing that cushion higher at both ends of the speedway. Loveys way up high, but it's Dempster with a huge margin, and they're all freight trains strung out now.
Coming down to complete 2 laps. Only 2 laps to go this time. Keith Dempster as he works it corner 3 and off of corner 4. Brake caliper broken on the 1K of Jessica Zemkin.
So Dempster out front by extending his lead right now. Loveys in 2nd. Jamie Collard in 3rd, holding down the 2nd to last redraw spot. Kyle Moffat in 4th got that last redraw spot. And his front wing falls down. Brad Knapp all over for that 4th spot now.
Problems for Chris Duran here on the bottom out of turn 4. They will tuck him into the infield and avoid problems. They'll try and get Moffat into the infield as well. And we stay under caution. No, to get this one done, that will wrap it up.
So Keith Dempster, defending division champion here in the sprint cars, will win heat race number 1, brought to you by BS&B Radiators. Kevin Loveys 2nd, Jamie Collard 3rd, Brad Knapp 4th, and 5th will be Kyle Moffat, and that's significant because I believe the top 5 redraw tonight. Loco, car number 6N, it's Dane Nida. Inside of row number 2. In the Service Master car number 94 to Fort Erie, Ontario, that is Stan Zenkin. To his outside, the JDH Custom Rods. Trailers by Jim Bray, car number 71. Rookie driver Travis Cunningham. Inside of row number 3 in the 5th starting spot, that is Tim Zach, the Dane City Outlaws here tonight in the 71X. To his outside, out of Consicon, Ontario, in the Jones Automotive Terry's Taxi car number 84. Rookie driver Tyler Rand. And behind him, Steve Garrett, London, Ontario, another rookie driver here in the Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. 8 laps the distance here in the Best Western Cairncroft heat race number 2.
Jim Hooperman, the rookie, doesn't get a good start there at all. Dane Nida really gets out on him as another rookie, Travis Cunningham, up into 2nd now. And Nida looking for a feature win. He's already got 1 this year, and he'd love to make that 2.
Dane Nida pulls away from the 2 rookies here. Cunningham with a lot of experience in the Dirt 315 Modified. And Tim Hooperman, been a long-time crew chief to his brother Tommy, working their way down the back straightaway. Here they go again. It's still Nida on control of this one.
Nida out front right now with a rookie driver, Travis Cunningham. Travis has done a great job in that 71 car, taking over for former driver Greg Downey. Right now, Jim Hooperman sitting in 3rd, Stan Zenkin in that final redraw spot.
And Nida will come around this track looking really good tonight as he zips around the outside. Cunningham holding down 2nd. Hooperman in 3rd, Zach in 4th. And it's a fair ways back to Tyler Rand for 5th. He wants to chase him down and get that redraw spot.
So the leader Nida got about a full straightaway here ahead of the 71 of Cunningham. Cunningham holding a good margin ahead of Hooperman, but Hooperman not falling back too far. see a sprint car, it almost looked like it popped out of gear. I don't think you can pop it back in, but a veteran like Nada maybe, but not sure whether it stalled or what happened there, but it definitely shut off coming out of 1.
Go in a feature, and Travis, I wouldn't count him out for a feature win before the end of the year here if he can get luck on his side.
Yeah, luck would be parking that 12C somewhere else because that car has dominated so much. Getting set to go here again. Nada on it. Cunningham with Hoopinen in there. One shot for Cunningham. He goes to the bottom.
Whatever was wrong with the 6N there a couple of laps ago seems to be gone. So the 6N of Dane Nida now set sails. He'll come across the stripe and pick up the 2-to-go signal from Dale Schoeneman.
So Nida starting to put some distance between he and Cunningham again, as Hoopinen trying to chase down Cunningham for that second spot. Zankin in 4th, Tyler Rand in 5th, still trying to chase Zankin down for that final redraw spot as Nida takes the white flag.
Dane Nida has been on a tear here in the Gurney-powered 6N throughout the course of the 2009 season, and I gotta tell you guys, he looks very, very strong here tonight. That car just taking an amazing look through the turns right now. Cunningham will be 2nd, Hoopinen 3rd. Zankin will make the redraw. Rand into the race, as is Carey.
There's your winner in the Engine Pro Garrity's engine giddy-up color loco car number 6N out of Belleville, Michigan, Dane Nida. He will take home Best Western Karen Croft heat race number 2. It's John Burbridge Jr. To his outside out of Michigan's the Flying Fossil, Louis Carufel. The DNS Automotive 5D, that is Dave Dykstra. The 01, the Big Moose Racing Ride, that is Mikey Krutchka. And there's your point leader of the 12C, the Best Western Karen Croft ride of Tommy Hoopinen. Ready for green flag action off of 4.
8 laps of distance. 4 cars again will redraw. We'll get into the redraw here. And Mikey Krutchka going to work right away on Dave Dykstra for that final redraw spot. And they're fighting over it in turn number 3 and 4 right now.
Well, as your leader Huntsinger gets going, if you recall, both he and Krutchka had bad wrecks there the last time the 4-pack guys took points. And Krutchka's got his backup car, but it's Huntsinger looking just as good as Nida did. How about Carufel running in 2nd?
Carufel right in 2nd, the guy to watch the point leader. He does a little wheel hop down off the corner 4. He's picked off 2 cars, and now he's down to the inside of Krutchka and James Evans.
Louis Carufel, that poor Huron, Michigan driver, holding down a gaggle of cars right now as 2nd through 6th all right in a row. And James Evans got really loose there on the front stretch. Mikey Krutchka got into the back end, and I do not know how Mikey kept that on all 4s.
That had to feel like deja vu all over again coming down the front stretch.
I don't know how he managed to flip him off down the back straightaway either, but coming out of it, big smoke out of the Big Moose 01. But look at Huntsinger, he is shooting his guns off early here tonight.
Ryan Huntsinger's had a miserable summer, and right now he would like to correct that. He's leading with 5 laps to 3 laps to go here at Drysdale Racing Products in race number 3.
Well, it looks like the only damage to Mikey Krutchka's car on that was knocking off a Nerf bar. It's up here in turn number 1 as Huntsinger comes around here to take the 2-to-go signal. Krutchka holding off Hoopinen for that 3rd spot.
Hoopinen putting the move down low now in the 12C, and that car just bites in with a lot of power and pulls up on the 01 near the bottom. He tries to put the slider on Krutchka. Krutchka back around the outside. White flag out for the leader.
What a battle for the 3rd spot now. Krutchka up high. Here comes Hoopinen down to the inside. The Fenwick Flyer trying to grab through. He'll slip by Mikey Krutchka as Ryan Huntsinger will grab the win. The battle right now for 2nd and 3rd.
And Carfel going to come around and take 2nd spot. Mikey Krutchka will get 3rd. 4th will go to the 12C of Tom Hoopinen. 5th. And out of the redraw is the 5D of Dykstra. 6th to the 90 of James Evans. 7th will go to the 31 of John Burbridge Jr. As everybody had missed that Nerf bar up in turn number 1 until the last lap. Dave Dykstra got it with his right rear. So they might want to go have a look at that right rear tire down in the pit area on as many as we can. Starting on the pole in the 17, Brittany Jacari. To her outside, the 13, Casey Huffman, 2nd in points. Row 2, the 13C this week is Mark Maidment doing double duty, also in that mini stock. Then we got the 113, probably Sean Ireland in that car, the 88, Jesse McDonald. As we get the green flag, Casey Huffman will take the early lead.
Huffman leads them down the back stretch. We got a melee right there in corner 1 as Brittany Jacari right there with problems will loop it back around. And we'll stay green. Casey Huffman out front, second place point driver. No wins yet this year. Don't want to jinx him, but he's right there in the lead with 2 laps in. 1 lap in.
Well, you know, this race is going to get interesting because I think this is as many cars as we've ever seen take a bomber feature green flag, and lap traffic's going to be a major player in this race, I think. Carl Salt already challenging that 13 of Huffman for the lead right now.
Apparently these guys don't like the moist stuff. They're running up in the dust up in corner number 4 as the leaders go side by side through 3 and 4.
Salt trying to make do on the outside the hard way around, and Huffman doing a good job holding him off on the bottom. No contact so far, even on this tight track, as now Salt takes over that lead. Here goes a tire flying off somebody down here in turn number 2. That thing hit the wall a ton, bouncing back towards the 88 of McDonald again. That's why I stand over here for this race. The 61 Steve Hills, he's had a feature win here in the Bomber Division in the past. Also the 03 could be Rodney Rutherford again this week, or it could be Bill Rutherford. They've been sort of fighting over that ride. Rodney likes doing double duty also in the Thunderstocks, and kicked Bill out of the seat last week and took the feature win.
Going down to the green flag, 16 laps to go in this Bomber feature event. Carl Salt leads the way, your point leader, with the second place point man right on his tail. Casey Huffman in the 13. We're ready to go back to green flag racing. Carl Salt leads him into corner 1.
So Salt dives it in there hard. Casey Huffman gonna have to work pretty hard to try and catch up to him, as Lee Hills and Chris Hills, father and son, going at it for that 3rd spot right now.
Casey Huffman feeling some pressure. He'll scoot up the track and open up the door for the 818 down the backstretch.
Mark Maidman really making that front bumper work on the 13C, as the 15 car does some agricultural racing down here in turn number 2, gets it back on the track. And Carl Salt's got to be watching what's going on at the back of this pack with some apprehension here. We've seen some races won and lost in lap traffic, and when they're driving down in the grass, that's got to worry him a little bit.
He'll sling it to the outside and continue as the leader, working through corner number 2 as he continues to put cars down laps. Casey Huffman opening up the door for that 2nd spot. He'll do a little slide job there, try to get back to the inside, but won't get the spot.
Tell you what, this 181 Lee Hills, we've seen that car in victory lane a bunch of times last year. We haven't seen him out this year yet in the Bomber Division, but I predict before the end of this race he's going to have at least caught Carl Salt here.
Heavy traffic right now, so that will play into Hill's favor as we got more contact off of corner number 4.
Lee's still trying to make his way around that 15. I believe that could be Brad McCartan in the 15. That's who usually drives the number 15 car here in the Bombers. As Lee still can't make his way around. Now he gets around as Carl Salt gets way high up here in turn number 1, trying to get around that lap station wagon.
Well, 15 really held up 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, as now Carl Salt has about, well, he had about a half a lap lead, but now since they cleared the lap traffic, Lee Hills now reeling in the leader.
Carl Salt's got about 7 or 8 lap cars between him and Lee Hills here, so Lee gonna have to pick his way through in a hurry. 12 laps in, 8 to go. As Stephen Hills has made his way up a long way in that 61 car. He's going after that 3rd spot right now, as Jacari spun out Chris Hills, the 3rd place car, up here in turn number 2, or turn number 1.
We stay green flag racing with 7 laps to go. Salt right now your leader in the 81, coming off of corner number 4. And Hills right now trying to get around 2 lap cars.
Heavy lap traffic here. Here comes Chris Hills right up into the middle of it, getting that car back on track a couple laps down, and he cut right in front of all those lap cars that are trying to hold off Lee Hills, as Casey Huffman is about to get lapped. The 2nd place point man about to get lapped by Carl Salt, the point leader.
Carl Salt throws it 3 wide through corner number 3 and comes down to the big high 5. Pardon me, make that 4 to go for Carl Salt, as he's right there on the back bumper of Casey Huffman. So we have, I believe, 3 other cars left on the lead lap.
Yeah, Lee Hills, I believe, is on the lead lap.
61.
61 of Steve Hills on the lead lap, and I think that's about it. As Casey Huffman about to go a lap down here, he would be the other lead lap car, I believe. So Carl Salt really putting it to them tonight here in the Bomber division as he comes down to take the 2 to go signal.
That Taurus station wagon looking a little worse for wear. Down on the inside, down the backstretch. I think that'd be the car I'd choose for the Bomber division.
I think that station wagon is looking forward to the Flagpole race later on.
So. Well, ready to go to victory lane again. Working through 3 and 4. The checkered flag coming out from Dale Shuneman. Our first feature winner of the night is Carl Salt. Fifth feature winner of the year for Carl Salt. Your point leader will go down to Engine Pro Racing winner's circle with your winner, Carl Salt. Carl Salt, get the buckles off, taking the helmet off, he climbs out of the car. Let's hear it for your winner, fifth feature winner of the year, Carl Salt. Well, Carl, that was probably the most cars we've seen in a Bomber feature. What's it like trying to maneuver, not around the guys you're racing, but all those lap cars?
It's interesting. It's fun, that's for sure.
Now, a little bit later on the Flagpole race, are you going to be a part of that?
Yeah, I have another car for that one.
You got another car for that, so you're a multi-car team here with this 81.
Oh,
Now, you're going for the championship. You didn't get it last year, but how much would it mean to you to get a championship this year? You're almost there.
it'd mean a lot. I can't believe we get it.
All right, let's hear it for your winner tonight, Carl Salt in Victory Lane, Engine Pro Winner's Circle, here at Ohsweken Speedway on Gale's Auto Aftermarket and SL Speedway Variety Night at Ohsweken Speedway. Rick Wellman will come in and get the Victory Lane photos. RickWellmanPhotography.com to check out Rick's work and check out their trailer at the entryway of the Speedway to pick up a photo of your favorite driver.
Your winner, the 777X of Steve Hess. In front of them, the 72, Kevin Hoborn, the second place point man, and the 28, Abel Castelline. He's last year's track champion, both looking for their first wins in 2009.
Well, we get set to go here. 15 laps for the SO Mini Stocks as they get set to roll one more time here. Starter Dale Shuneman with the green flags high in the air, ready to rock and roll here as we got a gorgeous night here at Ohsweken. Greens come out and they're 3 wide already. Tommy down the front straightaway. Here we go.
Here comes Mike Evers to the inside. He likes that low line into turn number 1. Mike Evers has the lead for now, but Chase Hess is going to fight back on the outside. They're 2 wide going down the back straightaway.
Evers in control, but here comes Chase Hess on the outside in the white Mustang. It's a Honda Prelude on the bottom, Ford Mustang on the top. They come together at the chalk line off of Ford. It's Chase Hess in control.
Chase Hess will lead lap number 1. Dave Goodacre in that 05 up into third. Those 3 cars with Mike Evers in second are single file. Everybody else from there on back either 2 or 3 wide as we got some great racing going on here. Mitchell Brown not able to make his way up through the pack quite yet.
Chase Hess in control. Mike Evers running second. Third is the Goodacre 05. Coming down here onto the front stretch. A good pack of cars. Abel Castelline will pass 3 of them into turn number 1.
Mike Taylor and Paul Goodell trying to separate themselves from the pack now as Steve Hess, last week's feature winner, he goes to the inside of Abel Castelline, then backs out as Mike Iverson was on the outside of Castelline for that 6th spot as Chase Hess feeling the pressure from Mike Evers up here for the lead.
The mini stock dominator, Mitchell Brown, mired back in traffic, still on lap 3. The top 2 have pulled out to a good advantage right now, and it's Mike Evers trying to get the lead away from Chase Hess's white Mustang off of turn 4.
Mike Evers at 265, that Prelude likes the bottom side of this track. And again, he goes to the bottom at turn number 1, draws even with Chase Hess as they go through turn number 2. Hess gets a little bit of a run down the back straightaway, but they're still side by side for that lead. Mike Taylor up to third in the 02.
Just behind them, the leader's teammates, Goodale and Hess, working over the Castelline 28. He was 4 cars up, got knocked around. Now he's back fighting out with Mitch Brown and the leaders now. Still working their way out of 2. Problems for Ethan Martin. He's slow in turn 3. Gets going again right now.
So Chase Hess holding off Evers for now. He gets about 2 car lengths. Meanwhile, Mike Taylor, that 0-2, looking very strong. He's in third. Kevin Hilborn doesn't have a feature win here yet this year. He's in fourth. And here comes Steve Hess, 777X, got the feature win last week. He's up into fifth.
So it is still Chase Hess in control. His teammates have got victories. Hess looking for one here in the number 7X. He comes around off turn 4. It's the 265, chasing him down now, and Hilborn into the top 3 in the number 72.
So Hess holding them off for now, but he's got Evers right on his tail still, as Hilborn also right there got a feature win at the end of last year. And looking for his first one this year, Mike Taylor got shuffled back to 5th there all of a sudden, as here comes Steve Hess to the bottom of Hilborn for that 3rd spot.
Paul Goodale came down on the 28 of Abel Castelline and spun himself into the infield. The officials agree with that assessment. No penalty for the 28 of Castelline. Leaders now in traffic a little bit as they find themselves being the traffic. Evers together with Stephen Hess.
Evers holding off. He's in a teammate sandwich right now between the 2 Hesses. Here comes Kevin Hilborn to the outside. He'll make it 3 wide and take over the lead into turn number 1.
Kevin Hilborn, your new leader on the top off of turn number 2. He should be able to get the run on Evers, but here comes Stephen Hess to the bottom. The teammates working over the Evers Prelude. Lap traffic of Ayrton right in front of the leader out of 4.
How about that move for the lead, fans? Kevin Hilborn shot through 3 wide in the middle and took over the lead there on the last lap. But Chase Hess not going to give up that easily, as Mitchell Brown, all of a sudden, he's up into the 5th spot.
Chase Hess gets loose right in front of Stephen Hess, and they will give some ground up to the leader now, the Hilborn 72. He rockets off turn 4. Just 3 laps to go now for Kevin Hilborn. 4 to go.
Hilborn's got to hold on for 4 more laps here, as Steve Hess still not able to get around his teammate Chase Hess for that 2nd spot, and that's working to Hilborn's advantage right now. Mitchell Brown still having trouble getting around the
Caution.
265 of Evers, and we have caution out. 14, lots of smoke out of Goodale's machine up here in turn number 1.
And lots of fluid in turn 4, right up through the middle portion of the groove. Lots of water and oil laid down here by the 14 of Paul Goodale as he gave up the ghost there in the middle of turn 3. Kevin Hilborn, your leader, has worked this field to his advantage here. Chase Hess and Stephen Hess running 2nd and 3rd right now. 4th place, the 265 of Mike Evers. So that's 3 Mustangs against the Honda back there in 4th. And then a couple more Mustangs in the form of Mitchell Brown in the number 10 and the 28 of Abel Castelline. Castelline's been fast here tonight, but he's been getting worked over. He gets a push from the 2nd place Chase Hess. And they go at it. Stephen Hess drops to the bottom. Watch for that 777X.
Steve Hess in that 777X has been fast on the restarts all year, and he's trying to work over Chase Hess right now, but Chase Hess gets a good run out of turn number 2. Meanwhile, Mitchell Brown made his way around Mike Evers on that restart. Now is to the outside of Steve Hess for that 3rd spot as they come down for 3 laps to go.
Kevin Hilborn up off the high side of turn 4. Brings it down now to a mid straightaway run here on that 2nd place car. It's Chase Hess, the 7X, but here comes Mitchell Brown in the number 10. Mitch Brown challenging for 2nd now.
Chase Hess been strong on that top side all night, however, and he's holding him off still, holding off Brown as they come down 2 laps to go. Hilborn's got 2 laps to go to try and get his first feature win of 2009.
Mitchell Brown points it to the bottom here of turn 1 and 2. Probs for Hess, opens up the door for Brown. He'll have 2 laps to go to catch Kevin Hilborn here off of turn number 4.
White flag out this time by from Dale Schoeneman. 1 lap to go for Kevin Hilborn. He's got Mitchell Brown chasing him down. Chase Hess in 3rd, Steve Hess in 4th. All eyes are up front right now. Brown gets loose up in turn number 2, and that allows Hilborn to get a little bit of a gap there as they go into turn number 3 for the last time.
Bigger advantage. Here he comes off turn 4. He will get it without question. Kevin Hilborn, your feature winner. Mitchell Brown will finish 2nd. Chase and Stephen Hess 3rd and 4th with Abel Castelline, your 5th place car.
Well, we talked about a new face in victory lane. We got it tonight in Kevin Hilborn. Kevin Hilborn won at the end of last season. Kevin out of Brandon.
Well, Kevin Hilborn gets ready to climb out of the 72. Make some noise for Kevin Hilborn. First feature win of 2009. And there's Kevin, there's your trophy. And that was one heck of a move you made for the win down there. 3 wide on the front stretch. How did it look from your point of view?
Oh, it was nuts, but the car was hooked up tonight. I couldn't believe it. I've got to thank all my sponsors, Willie's, Spear Construction, Kingswood Restaurant, Marconi's, Wingbacks, Pioneer, Gales, Tropical Fishing. Everybody, fans, this is great.
Well, you got a point race here this year. You got a non-points one towards the end of last year, but this one's got to mean a little more since it was a points race.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's been hard racing that 10 and 28 777X, but we finally got it. Big thanks to Robbie Rounds. He's the one who's been, telling me what to do, how to do it. He keeps on telling me, just get in the goddamn thing and drive it. Stop babying it. So tonight we did it. It's boat time. It's been a long time coming.
Well, tonight you definitely did drive it hard. How about another round of applause for Kevin Hilborn, first feature win of 2009.
Down there getting photos with the winner and all his crew excited here tonight. Thorne out for the evening. Late arrival to the feature, the 18, Amanda Stoner. So we are ready to go. They're double file down the back stretch with Thorne and Disher on that front row. Disher has a win, but 4 out of the top 5 right now have not had a feature win in 2009. Let's see if we can have a new face again tonight here in Victory Lane.
Well, Disher gets a good start here. Thorne also a pretty good start there as they go even into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes McGrin to make it 3 wide for the lead in that 24K.
Disher gets the advantage though. He will be the leader down into 3. Kyle McGrin running on the bottom now. He'll maintain second spot, but it's all Disher out of 4.
Here they come, a big pack of cars as they rumble off a corner 4. Rob Disher out to the lead early, just like he was on the night that he won.
McGrin really diving hard into turn number 1 each time, and that's where he gets a good run. Then he slips in turn number 2 and falls back again. Mark Thorne fighting with him for that second spot as they're 2 wide and 3 wide back in the pack. Shane Pierce, Jamie Cox, Lee Winger all trying to make their way up through the pack.
Terry Osmond holding on to 4th spot right now in the blue number 40. Bill Bleach right behind him, and Jeremy Bean looking to get underneath 3 wide, almost off of 2.
That 13 of Mark Thorne had a great run going last week, and then troubles failed him. But right now, sitting in second, he looks to the outside of Disher, and down to the inside comes Kyle McGrin, a 3-car race for the lead.
Well, Disher washed up just a little bit there, took the line away from Thorne in turn number 3 and 4. Thorne again to the top side in turn number 1 and 2. Then he tries to cut back down. He goes to the bottom, but there's not enough room there as McGrin was already in that spot.
Kyle McGrin pushing hard on the bottom. Disher got wound up. Now McGrin shows the door. Out of 4, it's still Disher, McGrin, and Thorne.
3-car battle in the line. Thorne right on the back bumper of Disher. He'll throw that Monte Carlo into corner number 1 and 2. Here comes Thorne on the top side. He's got a run going down the back chute.
Well, guys, don't look now, but Jamie Cox in that 44, he's up into 4th spot already. He's got 3 feature wins in a row here, and he's looking racy again tonight up in that middle groove. Now he's on the outside of Disher for second here.
How about Mark Thorne? He's come up through the pack, looking good now, battles his way back to the lead position. But you're right, Jamie Cox is so fast here, Tommy, and here he comes to the point again.
Guys, this looks like restrictor plate racing. 14 cars, nose to tail, looking to get the win. Jamie Cox now has the lead with Mark Thorne in second. We've got 14 cars in this lead pack from Jamie Cox all the way back to Ed McNamara in the 88K.
Wow, 14 laps to go, and Mark Thorne's not going away. He's staying right with Jamie Cox here as Brad Herron in that 12th car. He got a feature win back in June, and he's looking racy up into that 3rd spot as Shane Pierce making his way up into that top 5. He's got in front of Billy Bleach, who he's trying to keep ahead of in the point standings.
Robbie General will take the 0-0 to the pit area, but it's Cox, Thorne, then the Brad Herron number 12. Here comes Pierce in 5th spot, trying to work underneath Kyle McGrin.
Looks like we're going to see the yellow flag out onto the speedway. Jamie Cox, your leader. Mark Thorne 2nd. Brad Herron in 3rd. 4th, Shane Pierce. And 5th, Kyle McGrin. As I mentioned, under race conditions, the 88K tonight, Ed McNamara in the 88K. Victory lane. Lee Winger's up to the 6th spot. Clinton, you may just be in victory lane before this one's over.
Well, he's very hungry, you know. Like I said, Lee can certainly get it done out here in that car. Used to dominate here when it was the number 3 of Brad Bacher not so long as about a year ago. So we'll see what can happen here. We still have a great bunch of guys. Jamie Cox going to be hard to knock off the front as he gets going again.
They get right back on the gas pedal, and Jamie Cox rockets away down the front stretch. Kyle McGrin with a nice move. He'll set himself past Mark Thorne in the 13.
Well, guys, we'll have to keep an eye there. Jamie Cox got going before that chalk line, I thought, but we'll have to see what the officials make the determination here. As Mark Thorne all the way back to 6th now on that restart. He did not get a good one at all.
Tommy, the leader can go pretty much anywhere. They give it a bit of grace period. In the other division, they just can't pass till they get to the chalk. And how about Winger working the high side here in the 83? Oh boy.
He's working it on the top side. Brad Herron down on the bottom. They get by Kyle McGrin, moving to 2nd and 3rd. Big Moose Racing moving towards the front.
Jamie Cox had what looked like a problem there. Either that or Lee Winger really picked it up. As they come to the halfway signal, he really gained a lot just in that lap alone.
Almost looks like Cox may have a problem, Tommy, as Winger has pounced all over him. So has Brad Herron. Maybe Cox just conserving the car. I can't see that. Winger going to the outside.
I don't know if he feels a tire going down or what it is. Going into the corners, he's gingering the car right into the corner slowly. That's allowed the other drivers to catch up. And the 83 now of Lee Winger moves to the outside and takes the lead.
Well, now Jamie Cox is back on it, and he fights back on the bottom side. They're still side by side for that lead down there at turns number 3 and 4, and that's playing to the advantage of Brad Herron, who's right up their tailpipes now.
You gotta wonder, did Cox have such a good car? He could be toying with these guys up front? I don't think so. Here, it's all out, everything you got. They're door-to-door out of 2.
They'll go side by side into corner number 3. Lee Winger in that Big Moose Racing 83. He slips to the high side and has the lead for a moment. Cox right down to the line, and at the stripe, Cox will lead that lap now.
I tell you what, guys, I think if Brad Herron could get a clear line, he might be the faster of the 4 cars up front. He's really getting great runs in turn number 3 and 4. But with Cox and Winger side by side, he doesn't really have a whole lot of places to go right now.
Cox with more power on the straightaways than the 83 makes it work. Winger just back by a bumper. He's going to need a bigger advantage here on the white flag lap.
Wow, what a run there by Lee Winger. He gets a little bit more of an advantage, but now Cox, he seems to really get the run going into corner 3. This time Winger sees some open space, and the big high five comes out from Dale Shuneman. 5 more laps to go for Lee Winger.
Lee Winger out front now as he gets clear of Jamie Cox. Here comes Shane Pierce with a good run on the top side, but he stays in 4th now as Billy Bleach and Jeremy Bean have joined the party in 5th and 6th.
Well, we've seen races go away like this from Shane Pierce, who had just that big of an advantage with a couple to go. Look at how strong Cox's car is on the bottom of 4.
I think you're right, Tommy. Brad Herron's just sitting there right now. He looks to have maybe the strongest car, the top 3 or 4, but he's just biding his time. These 2 leaders racing side by side after using up the tires, eating them up. He's just kind of riding right there. Now he'll duck low down off of corner 4.
Jamie Cox slid really high up there in turn number 3, and that allowed a good run by Brad Herron here as he's to the inside of Lee Winger in turn number 1 and 2. They're going to go 3 wide down the back straight for the lead once again.
Winger on the high side. If Herron can show up underneath the Cox 44, that may make him think more about the Herron machine and less about the Big Moose 83. That's got 2 laps to go right now.
2 more trips around for Lee Winger. He's the only driver in that top 4 that doesn't have a win yet this year. He would love to get to victory lane, especially after being away last week.
Wow, Jamie Cox right on the tail of Lee Winger at turn number 3 and 4. He gets another good run down to the bottom side as they come to the white flag. Brad Herron, Shane Pierce looking for a way around them.
Well, one more time into turn 1 and 2. It's all about this lap for Lee Winger. He opened up the door a bit for Cox. They will go at it into 3. Greg, call it home.
right down through 3. It's high side for Winger, down for Cox. Cox can't get the advantage, and Lee Winger's going to go to victory lane. Lee Winger with an upset gets by Jamie Cox, Brad Heron, and Shane Pierce. Billy Bleach-Smith, so the top 2 stay close. And how about that? Clinton Jeffries going to victory lane with Lee Winger to do the winner's circle interview.
All right, well, we told you earlier he was in detention last week, and Lee gave me some trouble, said you're not supposed to tell him I got suspended. I said, Lee, that's part of my job. He said, all right, I'll meet you in victory lane. How about it, folks? He did it. Lee Winger gets to victory lane. Lee going to pull the 50-50 first of all here after getting congratulations for teammate Ryan Dinning. Reach in here and we'll do the 50-50, Lee. $566. Reach in there, pull out a number, and you can read the number for me, Lee. First time you give her.
38124.
38124 for the cash, and we got to get how many more extra winners? 2 out of, you know, you were kind of upset last week being off, but here you are in victory lane. This is a big turnaround for you and the Big Moose team.
Yeah, it was a long 2 weeks for me. I got suspended for an altercation with another driver, but happy to be in victory lane. I drove my butt off trying to keep them behind me, and it was a good race.
Talk about what it means to get your guys here back to victory lane in this Thunderstock, of course, with the guys from Big Moose and your whole team here to see it tonight.
Well, I ran mini stock here for years, and I won a bunch of features, and I moved up to the sportsman ranks and couldn't do nothing with that. So I'm glad I got fenders back on my car. I can actually do some good racing, and I'm pretty happy with myself right now.
There you have it, folks. The electrifying Lee Winger. Congratulations, buddy. I know it's a long time coming, and good to show these bad boys can turn it around, Greg.
Well, guys, we'll go over the 50-50 number here one more time for the money. 38124. 38124 for $566. Also for 2 gift certificates to Ohsweken Speedway Variety. One of them will go to 31253. That's 31253. Also,
So final photos being taken for the Big Moose Racing Pro Line Marine Car number 83 of Lee Winger down in Engines Road. Winner's Circle here on Gales Auto Aftermarket. Ohsweken Speedway Variety Night at Ohsweken Speedway. Up next
from Six Nations, congratulations to him. $566 richer tonight. And Bob wants me to wear the Santa hat every week that I wore last week. I don't think that's going to happen.
the pair of green flags in hand. Stan Zankin on the inside of the front row. Travis Cunningham to his outside. Brad Knapp, Keith Dempster in row number 2. Who's it going to be? 20 laps to settle it. The Corpac Merchandising Sprint Cars come to life.
So Stan Zankin and Travis Cunningham on the front row. A lot of smoke to the Zankin there on the start. But he takes over that lead as Cunningham falls back to second. Keith Dempster in third. Brad Knapp in fourth right now. Here comes Dempster challenging Cunningham for the second spot.
Down the backstretch, Stan Zankin has the lead. He twitches a little bit. That opens the door for Travis Cunningham. loops around the 18 car. The Northside Convenience number 18, rookie driver right now. Finds himself in the top 10 to see if this is a night where he finally doesn't go back to victory lane.
Yeah, Hoopinen in that 12C's got 6 feature wins this year. Hunsinger in the 77's got 1, and Nida in the 6N also has 1. Green flag out now.
On his rear end. It's the 5 of Keith Dempster, the 27 of Jamie Collard. Collard's been so close to victory lane, he can smell it now.
So Dempster and Collard really going at it for that second spot. Here comes Dempster around the top side in turn number 4. He gets a good run out of turn number 4 to the halfway signal. Side by side, he and Cunningham for the lead.
Here comes Dempster on the top side. He goes to the outside of Travis Cunningham, the 5-car former SOS champion, 2 times that is. And he's also a Core Pack merchandising sprint champion. He goes to the top spot with 9 laps to go.
Nice. Check out Brad Knapp having a great run here tonight in that 38 car. His best finish this year so far is 8th, and he's fighting with Jamie Collard for 3rd right now.
Across the stripe, Keith Dempster takes with 8 laps to go. Travis Cunningham right down the 2nd spot. Big bad Brad Knapp in that 3rd position, and he is coming hard right behind the 21 of Travis Cunningham.
Problems for the 31 of John Burbridge Jr. He gives away with a hand. He's taking it to the pit area with a broken front wing. Meanwhile, out front, Dempster starting to put a bit of a gap on the 71 of Cunningham as here comes Knapp trying to get around Cunningham for that 2nd spot.
Across the stripe now, make it 6 laps to go for Keith Dempster. The fight is on for 2nd, and the fight is on for 4th. Travis Cunningham and Brad Knapp going at it to the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, Jamie Collard feeling heat from Mikey Kreshko, who now is into the top 5.
Here comes Dempster, gets the high 5 from Dale Schoeneman, and he's building up that lead more and more now as Brad Knapp and Cunningham going at it for the 2nd spot.
Keith Dempster now will work around the lap car of Tyler Rand. He'll get by him, come down with 4 laps to go. 2 years it's been for Keith Dempster in SOS competition. He's looking to break the winless drought here tonight.
Broken front wing on the 12C of Tom Hoopinen, and that's exactly what we saw the last time he didn't win a Core Pack feature here. He had a broken front wing and finished 7th, and he's got one again as Keith Dempster makes his way around the lap car of Steve Gehrig. And Brad Knapp up to 2nd spot now in front of Travis Cunningham.
And look at Mikey Kreshko, he's on the move. Not long ago he was in 5th, now he's working on the back end of the 3rd place car. Mikey Kreshko shoots by Travis Cunningham into 3rd.
Dempster split the wickets that time by. 2 laps to go. Make it 1 as Dempster comes through turns 3 and 4. And up on the left car of Willie Carterfell. Brad Knapp in 2nd right now. And Mikey Kreshko, the man on the move. He's on the outside making a run on Knapp.
Keith Dempster works it down the back stretch. He is your leader, trying to get behind the lap car of Louis Carterfell. And he's going to break the winless drought. Keith Dempster going to victory lane in car number 5. Brad Knapp 2nd. 3rd is Mikey Kreshko. And then Travis Cunningham and Dane Nida shoots up to the top 5. We'll go down to a very happy Keith Dempster in victory lane.
Well, props for Ryan Hunsinger down there in turn 4 at the end of that one. Great run for Brad Knapp here tonight. He grabs 2nd place. And a rare appearance here for the red 38 of Brad Knapp. Keith Dempster, of course, with the win.
All right.
You got upstairs. Yep. On the top. That's good stuff. Nice job, guys.
Climbing into the car, folks. He can hear you. Let's hear it from Keith Dempster, winner. We'll go back to the car feature event.
Hey, Don, how are you, man?
He got out of the car and screamed, it's been a while. Keith Dempster back to victory lane. His last win came in SOS competition. Hugs his car owner, Glenn Steyer, Steve Moulton down here as well, the crew chief for these cars. Keith Dempster, here's your trophy. And I'm going to ask you, and I think I know what the answer is going to be. You won the championship last year. Which is sweeter, a winner of the championship?
They're both sweet. I mean, it's been a while since I won, and I can't say enough for Glenn Stiers and Miles Hill for putting these cars under us. And I had a really good coach tonight. He was up there tonight. The guy over there, Glenn, he was coaching me tonight, texting me all night saying, move up, move up, move up. And I did what he said, and it worked out. So this is a good win for the whole team.
Last year, consistency paid off, got you the championship. This year, you had a really rough go of things, but you get a win. Been a lot of hard work for this team this year.
Yeah, we've been working hard. Steve Moulton, and he's the crew chief for both cars and whatnot. And all these other guys are out here. They all work hard every week. I mean, it's a big job looking after a bunch of race cars, and I can't say enough for them. These wins are for those guys because those are the unsung heroes.
It has to be bittersweet to get a ride like this from Glenn Stiers. A few years back, running in cars that maybe couldn't win, but to get the call from Glenn Stiers, he knew you had talent, he knew you could get it done, and it has to be sweet to get it done for you.
Yeah, I'm happy to get it done for him. I wish Glenn hadn't been out there so I could beat him, but oh well.
Got what he deserved. All right, let's hear it for Keith Dempster in victory lane tonight in Engine Pro Winner's Circle. Don't forget, folks, Flagpole race coming up right after this, so stay tuned. Keith Dempster back to victory lane, his first in Corpac merchandising sprint car competition.
Here we go. These guys are on it already. They bunch down through the inside. Oh, getting tight. Watch here when they get to the flagpole.
Oh, here comes Chris Hills to that flagpole for the first time with Rodney Rutherford right behind him. Lee Hill's also right there. They do a full lap of that Trier.
Now that's got to make you sick.
That's dizzying.
See, they got the wheel back on the 88. Jesse McDonald back together.
Now they're all honest on the first lap there. They went around the tire, including that last place car in the 31. We'll see how honest they get later in the race and if our chart bite officials can catch them, as now we got some contact down there.
Okay, that's why Carl Salt had an extra car for this race. Our bomber point leader didn't want to waste his primary car, I guess.
Oh, Jesse McDonald just takes out the 101, which gets the 00. Wow, all kinds of hammering going on out there.
And 00, Adam Riedel, he's been running that car in the bomber division all year. I don't know if it's going to make it out next week with all this carnage.
Jesse McDonald clears that turn beautifully there, and he gets off rolling here. I think he's up to third.
Carl Salt's got some issues on the rear end. That would be towed out, I would believe, on both sides.
Some wild camber or caster going on there. So Jesse McDonald waiting for the train to roll on through. Who's our leader here? The 03?
Is the leader, Clint.
03, the 61, then I think the 88 of McDonald is the top three as they make their way around. Now the leader going to be in some traffic here when he gets to the flagpole. No, it should all clear out for the leader. Not too bad for that driver, the 03.
Who thought this up?
I don't know. This has been going around for a while. We've done them at Humberstone for the past few seasons.
The original founder had too much time on his hands.
I think it comes from those speed, crash, over the edge type shows.
Well, Glenn Hills told us that if they can get enough cars together for this, they might have a backwards race after this flagpole race. So we'll see if these guys can last another 14 laps here.
Oh, the leader just gets stuffed by Jesse McDonald. That gives the lead to the 61 now. And McDonald trying to find his way back through it. The 61, our new leader.
Well, Rutherford's car looks kind of hurt now, that 03. Lots of bits and pieces down here on the track at my end.
That Taurus wagon's just giving her.
Who's in the 61? That'd be our leader right now.
61, Stephen Hill's out there in the lead.
Jesse McDonald will not have much of a bomber car left at the end of this one.
Is that his actual car, Tommy?
I think it is.
Yeah, that's definitely the car. A lot of these cars are bomber cars out here. The 00 Adam Riedel, also the 03 of Rutherford, those are all regular bomber cars. So we'll have to see how many are left for next week now.
Now these guys, oh! The 818 took huge guns at the 88 that time. 61, still our leader out there.
That 03 does not have a straight corner on it, including the wheels. They're all pointing in opposite directions.
How many laps we going?
We're going 20 laps total, so halfway right now.
This reminds me of the roundabout up in Ancaster there.
Yeah. Hamilton's full of traffic circles like that. Another one.
Car stalled right at the flagpole there.
They won't stop it. They won't go red or yellow. They'll just race around them. Just a bigger flagpole to get through.
I'm surprised Carl Salt's still going.
Taking a looking, but keeping on clicking here. Looking pretty good.
Pretty good contact there with Lee Hills and Adam Riedel. In the 00 and the 181, but they're all still going right now. Jesse McDonald still the leader, guys? Or is it 61?
I thought it was 61, but I've lost track now.
61 is your leader.
61 still leader, but Jesse McDonald making the pass.
Right there.
He turned him, and there's no rules in this one. Look at, oh, that's some defensive driving. Wow, and he's going to maintain the lead off that move. I like it. Uh-oh, here goes McDonald. He's gunning for him now.
All right, let's introduce that deal.
Whoa!
Nice. Up on two.
Watch this one. That one's not going. That was some slick driving there by Stephen Hills in the 61.
Stephen Hills, the whole Hills family, they do that stuff all the time.
Oh, look at McDonald up the inside with the pass.
I think Hillsville's got the line down on the inside.
Oh, they're door to door back into the turn, pointing at each other. Oh, McDonald loses the wheel.
Heads up, Tommy.
Oh, no. Jesse McDonald is in the water there, up in turn number 2.
Well, they kept it on for most of the race, but after that they came off in the feature. I don't think it had much hope of lasting all the way through. So Steve Hills in the 61 is the leader. Rodney Rutherford, I think, was second place, but he's got a lot of smoke coming out of that 03.
That's the 31's dumped a lot of fluid on the track and a little bit of smoke, but he still seems to be going all right.
Battle of attrition here, it could be. Stephen Hills just got to hold it to the end. Look at this, 3 wide into the turn, whoa!
Jesse McDonald better watch out down here. He's gonna get run over in a minute.
Second place comes to a halt.
As they work their way around now, it's becoming quite a jam up at the flagpole.
Hills out front in that 61. He's starting to take it easy now. I think he's figured out how big of a lead he's got. As Chris Hills did some interesting driving there around those cars that are at the flagpole. So 2 laps to go now for the 61, your leader, Stephen Hills.
Last time around for the 61. 8:18, sorry. 61 is second.
Oh, Chris Hills, the 818 is the leader, okay.
Yeah, he's moved into the lead. 61 second. They're saying the 00 is third. He must be a lap down.
So
2 cars left on the lead lap. Checker down.
Still got to go around the flagpole one more time.
So there's your winner. Second, the 61. Third, the 00.
So Chris Hills with the win. Second will go to the 61, Steve Hills. Third to the 00, Adam Riedel.
Backwards race lining up, I'm told, Tommy.
Now I really don't know where to stand for this one.
Oh, here. Are you ready there, Dougie? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 laps in reverse. Uh-oh.
That didn't take long. A couple of these guys are doing pretty well, though. Steve Hills and Chris Hills got that figured out, the 61 and the 818.
They're already catching lap traffic on the first lap. Oh. Tire's still there.
Chris Hills making a move on Steve Hills for the lead backwards here. That's, you don't see that every day.
These guys look smoother than I'd be going forward. I'd like to know how fast they're going right now.
I think they're going faster backwards than I went forwards in that bomber race that I ran last year. Look at Chris Hills on the outside now.
I think Carl Salt's haven't had enough fun for one night. He got the feature win in the Bombers. That's good enough.
Uh-oh, Chris Hills almost ran right into the 00 of Adam Riedel there. That Honda's got some kind of backward gear in that. That's fast.
It's not over. Final time. Through corners 2 and 1, I guess we'll call it. Oh! Nice job. How about that, folks? That was a good bit of driving backwards there for our Bomber drivers here tonight. Well, thanks for joining us here this evening, folks, on Gale's Auto Aftermarket Ohsweken Speedway Variety Night at Ohsweken Speedway. Next week, Twin 15s for the sprint cars. We'll have the Thunderstocks, Mini Stocks, Bombers, and our Mod Light Tour next Friday night at 7:45. Tell a friend, bring them along. OhswekenSpeedway.com for all the information. And don't forget, the 5th annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals are coming up just less than a month away now. Our 5th annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals tickets and ordering information available online, OhswekenSpeedway.com.
Well, we'll talk to Chris Hills here. He won that flagpole race, and that was a first for us here at Ohsweken. But you guys do this all the time, and look like you're having some fun out there.
Oh yeah, lots of fun.
And we've seen you in the bomber class here in the past. We're going to see you towards the end of the year a little bit, too?
We'll see.
Okay, now we'll come over and talk to Steve Hills. What's it like going backwards around that little track?
It was actually a lot easier than I thought. I wasn't actually going to do it. It smoked pretty bad. I found out he won the flagpole, so I thought, might as well already.
Well, nice job. You guys were giving her down that backstretch. I think you were going faster out there than some of the bomber drivers go forwards.
Yeah, already.
Definitely faster than me last year. I think we won't dispute that one at all. So congratulations, guys. Feature wins in the flagpole race and the backwards race tonight.
All right, that wraps it up. So on behalf of Clinton Jeffrey and Tommy Gooch, my name is Greg Keller. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Don't forget to be back next Friday night, 7:45 start time for Friday.